Sunset all cloudy and blends with the prima bottles lying everywhere. Got a guitar in my hand and a Western oil can under my ukulele for a chair. It's Aloha Friday, no work till Monday. It's Aloha.
To be here. I'm around radio stars, media stars. I'm so fortunate today.
Listen, you look marvelous, dog.
Oh, thanks.
Really?
You know, this is late compared to what I used to do.
I know.
Very late. What time is it? 6 o'clock?
Yeah. Hey, you woke up during television days in KITV. You woke up at what time in the
That was just a
morning?
few months ago. I used to wake up at 1:30 in the morning.
What? Nice hand for 1:30? Because you know your nightclubbers are just going to sleep.
I know. You know what's crazy? I used to drive down the road and I'd see everybody coming home from the clubs. Sometimes I'd see dangerous drivers on the road and
Oh,
thinking,
yeah.
oh my gosh, I just need to go to work.
Yes, please get me there. Get me there. So great career, great local girl. Everybody wants to know, where are you from?
Where am I from? I'm from Honolulu.
Honolulu,
Oahu.
right here?
Yeah, born and raised, Kamehameha schools, all the way.
Imoa. Wow.
Rare bees.
You need a full service Kamehameha.
The full service Kamehameha.
Yet another reason why I'm kicking myself for having gone to Iolani over Kamehameha.
Oh, no, that's a
No,
wonderful
you see that, but
school,
now,
Kaika.
now look at the guy who's in charge.
Yeah.
He's from Iolani.
That's true. That's true. So we must have done something right there.
There you go.
Aren't the ones from Iolani the bosses? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. We're all the,
No,
the Lunas.
no, the ones from Punahou own the company. Iolani, they
All
run
the
it,
finance.
right?
Yeah.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yes. Well, we won't go there. Okay, this program, by the way, this program, we should speak about the program. The program is brought to you by,
The Pelatron Center for Economic Development and its Pelatron companies.
and you know, we do 8A contracts and with Native Hawaiian organizations that are gathered here in the islands, and you have to go through all kinds of scrutiny with the SBA to be able to start a company and be a part of this. You know, Native Americans have been doing it for years, Alaskan Indians, and thanks to Senator Dan Inouye, who led the way, we were able to unfold great local businesses here in the island. So that's what supports this great Aloha Friday. So I want to thank Aimoku McClellan and Harvard Kim, who are two of my classmates who are in Las Vegas for their class reunion. You notice I'm not there. Okay? Okay. Well, anyway.
No, it's probably better.
Yeah, probably better.
Yeah.
Probably better. Oh, the whole, well, all the execs are there. I don't know why they're doing an intense study with our class, you know, reunion. But there's also business because the company is expanding in Las Vegas and in, in other places, Utah and East Coast, and yeah, it's getting to be good. So, Mahea, we welcome you to this great,
Thank you
wonderful
so
morning.
much.
And it's so casual, you know. It's
I
very casual.
noticed.
It's easy going.
You can just
notice?
wake up and walk into radio. It's so different from television. You don't have to put on the eyelashes
She
to
looks
get your
like
hair
$1 million
done.
right now. You know, if we vote, she wins, okay?
I'm really wearing my pajamas from last night. I didn't brush my teeth either.
Now, those are the secrets we hold in here.
Oh, okay, sorry. What happens on the show stays on the show.
That's what we get to expose in radio. That it's so totally different from television.
It is.
You don't get to say that. I never brush
No
my
one
teeth.
recognizes me without my eyelashes on.
Well, and speaking of on the news today, they were showing all these stars that are going now makeupless.
Makeup looks.
No
Oh my
makeup, no
God.
eyelashes.
I'm sorry. You know what? Whenever they show that, they're always showing the 20-year-olds who don't need any makeup. Do you ever see the 40-year-olds
So they
or
are
the
showing
50-years?
the 40 and 50s, us.
Really?
They're bringing us out.
Yeah, how come
It's
they don't
beautiful.
Well, more power to them because I
That's
wouldn't do that.
Well, you know, I wonder what they do in 5-0. Oh, they take care of, you know,
Yes.
all of the lines. Everything has to go. Get the lines out before you do the script.
Some makeup.
I had yet another in a long line of 5-0 auditions this
Oh, you
past
did? You
Monday.
did?
Yeah.
Good. Well, you know, son, you're too tall, you're too good looking. Let me just put it to you straight, okay? You're
Right.
too tall, you're too good looking.
Well, I appreciate it.
Too many
Yeah.
brains from
So-
Iolani.
What was the character?
It was the this time I auditioned for probably in my 10th audition now. I think it was like it was no speaking lines.
Uh-huh.
It was a savvy robber.
A savvy robber.
Savvy
Boy.
like a male Catwoman.
You know, it's funny, you got a wonderful degree, you got advanced learning, an advanced degree, and at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, he can't do a savvy
Cat woman man.
crook.
Cat man.
Savvy crook.
Yeah.
He probably could, but your dad said he was famous for all the crook rolls.
I know, that's why I was hoping I got it.
Following his footsteps.
I was.
I wasn't that famous. Don't put it that way. I was kind of the in-between guy. Yeah, like I wasn't really bad, but I wasn't really good.
But see, everyone remembers the bad guy.
Yeah, they remember the bad guy. I mean, you remember from 5-0 the bad guy.
Right.
Who was the first big bad guy? Was the Chinese guy, right?
Wolfat.
Wolfat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolfat. Now they made Wolfat Mark Dacascos.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he's now.
Oh,
Yeah.
so they changed him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Mark is a martial arts guy.
Yes.
You know, and we did a show with one of the girls from. What's the three girls who were on TV?
Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels. Cheryl Ladd.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it was tough. It was a tough job, folks. I had to sacrifice to be a part of this show.
Well-
But Cheryl Ladd was a star, and Mark was this young actor.
Yeah.
And we were out there, Kualoa, in a cave doing this whole thing, and that was one of the first jobs he had. So you got to congratulate him. He went on to be Iron Chef. I didn't know that he cooked that well, but
Well, I don't envy him because now they got half his body burned up because apparently he was in 5-0. His character's in a helicopter accident, so now he
Yeah.
looks like Two-Face from The Dark Knight.
well, he was just
Harvey
too
Dent.
smooth looking. He's like you. You're too tall. You're too good looking.
Yeah, he's a studly guy. I'll give him
Son,
that.
you got to go in ugly.
Can I talk about another handsome man
Oh, yes.
from Hawaii 5-0?
Yes.
Can I give props to Daniel Day Kim? I was at the
yes.
Euro Cinema Awards. I had to introduce all the VIPs on the red carpet. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And Daniel Day Kim was, the cream of the crop.
Oh, yeah.
So I said, and introducing Daniel Day Kim, and he waved, and he came up to me and he gave me a kiss. He said, "Hi, Mahealani." I almost fainted on the red carpet.
Hey, what a nice guy.
He is.
He's a
And
real
have you
nice guy.
realized he's lived here for 10 years?
Yeah.
So he's more than Kama'aina.
And so he's found his little niches to hide into that nobody knows where he's at.
Yeah,
and
he's into tennis, He's a tennis player.
I used to see him at the gym working out all the time.
Yeah.
And I stopped working out because I'm like, wow, he's so cute.
You're so cute. Mahealani, when we came,
We'll keep it at coastal speed so we can watch him the whole time he's here. How come your workout took so long this morning? Well, someday it was just, I was focusing.
so Mahealani, as we're coming back in this morning, is saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm amongst all these media stars and everything." I'm like, Mahealani, you're a star yourself.
No, I don't think of it that way.
This is how she knows Summit Media so well. She already had an interview
Yes.
with Billy V and
And
Mele
Mele.
Apana. Okay, Bobby Curran comes walking down the door. By the way, he wants to talk to you because he was very impressed with your gridiron.
Oh, yes.
Ah.
He said
And I
she
played
was
Grace
good.
Park, another Hawaii 5-0 character
you
in the
played Grace?
gridiron.
You
Yes.
played a sister of her.
Is that what we
That's
saw?
true.
If you go see all your pictures, it has you in that. Is that styling outfit? Is that when you played Grace Park?
It's just, jeans
Yeah,
and
yeah,
a tank
yeah,
top.
Yeah.
But I played many roles over the years. I did a pregnant nun one year
Oh.
when I was really pregnant.
Kind of an oxymoron.
Did a pregnant
I did a Beyonce number when I was pregnant.
Oh my God.
I had to wear a cone bra for a DOT traffic number. Yeah,
Madonna?
gridiron is crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, a
very
la
much.
Madonna?
And you know what? I loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, it sounds like Lady Gaga, Hawaii
It was
style.
full on Lady Gaga.
Well, before there was Lady Gaga, there was Madonna, and she
That's
was the
true.
original cone wearer. All right, let's
Yes.
get that straight.
True.
Okay, well, let's take you way back.
Well, let's-
Before Madonna, there was Bette Midler,
Oh, yes.
who was in the
Yes.
Turkish baths,
Ooh.
who started in New York City, but went to Radford High School.
Yeah, Hawaii girl.
Yes.
Hawaii girl.
Winds beneath my wings.
Oh, yes.
So let's-
Beaches. The
Let's
movie
get that
Beaches.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna start crying, Leilani.
And that's what my
Stop.
daughter says every time. I cry every time I see that movie when the mommy dies.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I guess it's balanced out now, the testosterone and...
No, we're outnumbered. There's 3 men in here, 2 women. We're definitely outnumbered.
Definitely, they now have taken over the show. And the show is still the Aloha Friday morning show. And we want
Sure
to welcome
is.
you and thank you very much for being here. We do have some special guests who are going to join us throughout the broadcast, but I thought it might be great because Mahealani has meant so much to Hawaii, not only as a career lady, but also giving back to the community and doing a lot of things, like she did the gridiron, and you hold passion to life. that is very, very beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Kimo. You know, working with you at Mary Monarch and doing the
yes.
Muscular Dystrophy Association Telethon, and now I'm at Shriners Hospitals for Children.
All right.
Yeah.
Give it up for Shriners. That's a
Director of
great.
Public Relations, and I do the physician liaison job as well.
Love what she's doing
Wow.
and bringing the hospital into another level in the community.
Do you have to wear like a doctor's outfit or something?
No,
That's
only the
how I ran into
doctors.
her.
And I don't wear the fez. That's the red hat, too.
I thought she
Oh,
was
the big red hat.
Yeah.
The fez. That's
she was
right.
the flower lady until she turned her head, and then I said, Mahealani RIchardson. She was like, yes. And then I see her badge and realize she's not just coming to visit, she's actually part of Shriners.
What a Shriners. Oh, boy, another nice
so
hat
this
for
is
that.
how, yes.
So- Thank you.
So how did that all happen now, transitioning from waking up 1 o'clock in the morning? Wait a minute. You had a baby, though.
Yes, I
Yeah.
had a baby. That was almost 4 years ago. So, you know, when you become a parent, as you all know, that it just changes your perspective.
Yeah.
And after waking up at 1:30 in the morning for almost 11 years, I mean, it started to have its effects.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
lack of sleep is not a good thing. I don't
No.
care what anybody
No,
says.
it's not.
Yes.
But-
That's right. There are more studies coming out with that.
And I feel so fortunate because, you know, television news can be a pretty cruel business at times, and I've seen it I mean, I have 20 years in the news. I've seen it over and over again. So I was so fortunate to be able to end my career on my own terms because I was just ready for change.
Yeah.
And I knew in the back of my mind I always wanted to work at a hospital.
Wow.
And so I applied for the job at Shriners and I got it. And so I just feel really fortunate to be
Wow.
able to spread the good
You
stories of
applied
Shriners.
for the job.
I did.
What was that like to apply after years of being in a position of, you know, the security in one way, but on the other hand, like you said, there's changes, but you're going into a whole different area.
Oh, it's
of
terrifying.
community. It is.
It is
For a lot
absolutely
of people,
terrifying.
it is.
But you know, you just have to put your best foot forward, and I'm learning a lot. I mean, I'm part of hospital management right now, so we're learning metrics and strategic
yes.
planning and all this kind of
Wow.
stuff that I don't really understand, but I'm trying to learn it as fast as I can.
And then, you know, this is what happened after your meeting when you were accepted, at work at Shriners. This is what happened after you left. They went, yes, we have Mahealani RIchardson. Yes, did you see how beautiful she is? She's smart. She's articulate. We have Mahealani RIchardson. We are so lucky. And they went down the hallways, and they were, you know, and nobody moves fast at Shriners. Everybody's really smooth walking there. So you know they were really excited.
Well,
about
I am kind of the Tasmanian devil around there because when you come from a news background, it's like and then, you know, things do move a little bit more slowly in a children's hospital.
They're kind of.
And I have not sworn since my first day on the job.
Wow.
You know, there's a lot of swearing in the newsroom, and you know, it's that kind
Kind of like the movie Anchorman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now that I work in a children's hospital, I have to be much more composed.
Yeah,
And it
they-
brings the child of you out, which
It
is
does.
wonderful.
And I have to pinch myself because sometimes we get to play around with the kids. We went bowling the other day.
Oh, that's
Bowling?
I went to Magic Island and I actually got to ride around in an adult tricycle because none of
Oh
the
my
kids
gosh.
wanted to ride it. And
Yeah.
I said, sure, I'll try it out just to feel what it's
That big
like.
tricycle?
Yes, that big tricycle.
Oh.
Wonderful. And everyone needs those moments because that's what keeps that joy, the endorphins. Hey, this is a health show too.
That's
That's
right,
what
that's
you
right.
need.
Because Leilani, you know, spent her entire life in NICU babies, being with them,
dedicated to children.
being with in the operating room and understanding what
Hospice.
hospice is about. So, so that is so cool that we have
It
this
is.
connection here. You're in the hospital, and Leilani actually went to a meeting there
Yeah.
with Shriners,
We'll
and
talk
so it's
about
good.
that later about the National Governors Association meeting that we held.
We're gonna
there.
talk about it
So
now.
you want to talk about it now?
Sure.
That's how I got to run into Mahealani. However, Bruce Holmberg, who
He's
is
our Board of Governors chairman.
and 2 months longer, and then he'll be retiring from that. But it was being there for this National Governors meeting, and across the nation, there was a meeting held in Washington, D.C. a few months back, and Hawaii was selected as one of 4 states to have a focus on the perinatal to early childhood. So we had a meeting there all around the first 1,000 days of a baby, from conception
Wow.
all the way to the first year of life.
And you know how important that is because you see those babies coming out.
I know.
Well, not exactly.
No, I have been in the Dell
you have
room.
been in
the
okay.
delivery room when it's high risk deliveries. We as a team have to go up there. Oh no, not pictures.
This
But
is
you
going to be
know,
on the web.
I know, so cute. No,
Social media.
you can. And so, but what was wonderful is that all these decades of advocating for babies and children to finally see that we're at a place now in our society
Uh-huh.
that we're raising the level of care for these babies. So
And you know, with that,
Dun, dun.
we got to get to a song.
yes.
Because let's go to the music that complements this great day. Then we'll come back with some news and sports, okay?
Great.
Okay, here we go.
I was gonna say I have a request, but I guess we already have it lined up.
We have it lined up.
Okay.
It's all looking good. It's all looking beautiful. And the music is from the Pahinues.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you can't
That
lose
works.
with this.
Yeah.
Happy Aloha Friday, everybody.
All right. Woohoo!
Yay!
Aloha, Min, we gotta take it of you now. Let's turn this around because Min deserves to be in this camera shot. Aloha, Min! And there you go with the boss over there too. Aloha Friday, everyone.
Aloha.
This is what goes on
Oh,
behind the
Mahealani.
scenes. The beauty next to the brawn. And then our TV news behind. And then this is the weather outside. Cannot catch traffic, but here we are. Aloha.
So, you know, it's really going to be funny. We're talking about the Pahinui brothers. Yes. The legacy continues. Pops has passed away, but oh, what a legacy. Aloha to Cyril, who's also on the board of the Hawaii Academy of Recording Arts. Yours truly is still there, ending up my 3 years serving. So that's interesting. Also to Martin, who performs at the Marriott on Sunday nights. And Blah on the North Shore out there at Waimea. Woohoo!
Or James,
Yes.
who wants to be known as James Daniel.
Yes,
James Daniel
yes,
La
James Daniel.
Pahinui. All right. So it sounds good.
Which we learned right here on this show.
On this show. Oh, by the way, there was an accident, H1H2, Kaonohi overpass right there. And so it was huge like earlier, and that's why you have the backlog, okay, coming in from the leeward side. So just enjoy the show. Okay, mahalos for that. I'm Kimo Kahoana,
I'm Ika Kawano.
And Leilani Kupahu Marino.
and our special guest is Mahealani RIchardson.
Aloha.
Woo! That's it. And our engineer, of course, is Min. Min is the silent. Actually, he's a great videographer.
He is. He's a really great videographer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking a look at he does our video
Okay.
and
Everything on
let's-
Facebook
and runs the
YouTube.
board.
Okay,
Yes.
let's go to some news. Let's go right to Mahealani.
Okay.
No.
Hey.
Cue the teleprompter.
Wait a minute. I don't have to do this.
That's right. She
So,
can come present.
no, actually, the way we do it is just whatever hits you, as far as the story is concerned. So,
Cue the teleprompter for my help.
do you have, what about you?
Well, you asked me to do a sportscast and do
Wait, not sports yet.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the thing. We got a lot of stories, but how's this for kind of strange? Listen to this.
Hit me with it.
Homicide in Waimanalo remains unsolved.
Ooh.
Some months before he was killed by a hit-and-run driver, Marco Buccio made an eerie pronouncement. He said, "If I ever go down here, no matter what you're told, it's not an accident." He warned his ex-wife and best friend, Emily. He was expressing to me that somebody was out to get him. Whoa. And that was in a call from Washington State.
Ooh.
Yeah. How's that?
Yeah, how's that? Why?
Oh, eerie.
I got an even better one for
Eerie.
you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was from 3 weeks ago. They found these people were going to recycle bottles
Uh-huh.
over there at the Kipapa Gulch area,
Okay.
and they found like chopped up body parts.
I know.
Keep
that
up a
was,
ghost?
yes.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
The guy that,
Oh.
Yeah,
it wasn't a pretty story.
yeah,
I wouldn't say that chopped up parts.
yeah. And so they
So-
they're still
It's
kind
a pretty story.
Not at all.
It's ugly.
Even talk about
Maya, anything come at you just thinking about overall stories? Because we got a lot of them. Legends.
Absolutely.
Wait a minute.
I got something. I got
Okay, go
something
ahead,
on the
go
table.
ahead.
Well, the Hokulea is at the Hawaii Kai Town Center right now.
Oh,
And I actually visited it last night, and you can go on it for free. They're opening it, so I think you can go in the afternoon. They might be here for one more day. My cousin Brad Wong is actually a crew member.
Wow.
And so it was really nice. A lot of school groups are going there right now, and they're just trying to educate people about the stars and how the Hokulea works. And you get to see the areas where they're sleeping. Oh, it's really tight quarters.
That's really tight, yeah?
I want to know
How
where
can
the
you
bathroom
sleep?
is.
How can you sleep like that? Okay, Leilani, let's save that for another show. Okay, so just be logical. Okay, so anyway,
That is logical.
It's like kind of like sleeping on a submarine.
no, the answer is logical too. So I got to tell you that at Hawaii Kai, Hokulea was sitting out there it had to be the late 70s. And one of the girls who was on the crew, I did an interview with at the Hokulea. So it's kind of, when you said that Hokulea is there, it's been there before, sitting there, right there on the dock.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's amazing.
this is the continual
it's right
legacy.
There at the shopping center.
Yeah.
The last time I got this close to the Hokulea was in 1999 when she was arriving in Rapa Nui, Easter Island. And-
Whoa, you were there.
Oh my gosh, it was a
How
life-changing
exciting.
experience for me to see the boat. But the funny thing is, okay, so all the media came down there to cover the arrival.
Yeah.
But the crew did such an amazing job sailing her to Rapa Nui. They beat the media. So they had to restage the whole thing so we could get it on video so that it was like real.
Real.
You know?
But it wasn't real.
But
because
nevertheless,
they
it
had
was
gone there
amazing.
so quickly.
Wow.
You know what's amazing
And the
too
reason,
is-
and just one more thing about Rapa Nui. Rapa Nui was the original site, supposedly, of the accessing the islands, Hawaii Islands, originally from Rapa Nui. So when they made that voyage and made it back to Easter Island, to that site, that was really a historical presence that was so important. Even though the first one in Tahiti, landing in Tahiti, was also good.
And with our Hawaiian ancestors, we are related to people from Rapa Nui, so
Right.
we can communicate in the same language.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Wow.
it was amazing to
Right.
see Kamehameha students speaking with the people of Rapa Nui. You just have to change a few letters here and there, and so we are really connected in
Yeah.
all of Polynesia.
Ah, that's so cool. Thank you for that moment.
They changed the T's and the R's or something, yeah.
Yeah.
But I sometimes I'm not sure if I'm related to the Rapa Nui people because they had the big Easter Island tiki things
Uh-huh.
over there. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I got a small head.
Your brother had a big head. Now the reason why you have a
Definitely related to the
the
Easter
reason
Island.
why you have a small head is because Haku had a big head. Okay, one of the biggest on the University of Hawaii football team.
Not one of the biggest.
Yeah,
the biggest.
Okay. So that's all good. Now, the thing that I wanted to express was about something that's very, very important in the news. And now that we got our focus, of course, I'll wait for a few moments. Okay? Did we do sports yet? We didn't do sports yet. Let's do sports. Here we go.
All right, aloha kako, and let's get an Aloha Friday look at sports. Of course, the big ticket on everyone's mind is the 109th World Series, where last night Hilo native Colton Wong's St. Louis Cardinals tied the series at 1 apiece, defeating St. Anthony of Maui grad Shane Victorino's Boston Red Sox on a late charge, scoring 3 runs in the 7th inning to win Game 2 in Boston by a score of 4-2, heading into St. Louis for Game 3 Saturday. The Maui native was hitless for the second straight game after his Game 6 wonderful 7th inning grand slam against the Tigers in the ALCS last weekend, sending the Sox to the World Series. And in UH sports, a stunner in Northridge last night as the 8th-ranked University of Hawaii Rainbow Wahine volleyball team lost for the second time in 3 matches, falling to Cal State Northridge in 5 sets. The Wahine are now 16-3, overall 5-2 in the Big West, and will face UC Davis Saturday night. The University of Hawaii Rainbow Warrior men's basketball team is surprisingly picked 6th heading into this season in the Big West Conference preseason poll released yesterday.
That's cool.
UC Irvine earned the top spot with senior forward Christian Stan Hardinger, who was selected to the all-conference team. Bulls will host an exhibition next Thursday against BYU Hawaii, with the Bulls season opener set for November 8th against Tennessee State. And St. Louis grad and Heisman hopeful Oregon Ducks sophomore quarterback Marcus Mariota will lead his number 2-ranked undefeated high-powered Oregon Ducks against the 5-2 12th-ranked UCLA Bruins, which will be aired live from Outson Stadium in Oregon on ESPN tomorrow at 1 p.m. Hawaii time. Looking forward to catching that one, as I feel Mariota should have been the original Johnny Football last season, but got robbed with the late touchdown call at Stanford. And after the fall of Manning last Saturday,
finally beat the Heisman Trophy winner this year?
It's looking good for him. And after the fall of Manning last Sunday versus the Colts in his first homecoming since leaving the franchise, the only undefeated team in the NFL, that's right, the Kansas City Chiefs, will be taking on the 3-4 Cleveland Browns this Sunday in Arrowhead Stadium, which will be aired live on CBS at 7 a.m. Hawaii time. If you're up, catch that. And who amongst us would have thought that at this point in time the Chiefs would be the only undefeated team remaining in the NFL? I just have 2 words followed by a question mark. 72 Dolphins. Ooh. And after returning not once, not twice, but thrice from the NFL, should 44-year-old Brett Favre make his, 4th Ali-like return to the gridiron? You may laugh and say no, but apparently there is one NFL team who thinks otherwise. That's right, the St. Louis Rams tapped the 44-year-old NFL quarterback who holds the consecutive starts record holder and Super Bowl 31 champion, to jump on board as backup to the injured Sam Bradford, which means he would get substantial playing time. Favre had this to say in a Washington, D.C. radio station yesterday morning when asked about it. "There's no way in hell I'm doing that. And remember the cool. And remember that.
Oh, he said it like this. He said it like this.
He's
There's,
44.
there's no way in hell that I'm doing that. Can I have some more air?
And remember that cool 90s catchphrase and jingle from the commercial, Be Like Mike? Of course they meant Michael Jordan, as the commercial went through a montage of the great one's many great moments. Well, you may not be able to dunk or shoot like Mike, but for a price you can perhaps live like Mike by buying his 56,000 square foot, that's right, more than 7 acres Chicago mansion at auction. That's right, the NBA greatest of all time is selling his Chicago mansion at auction, complete with 9 bedrooms, 19 bathrooms, a cigar lounge, stocked fishing pond, tennis court, gym, and workout gym, 1,000 bottle wine cellar, swimming pools, trophy room, beauty salon, and you'll like this one, Dad, a private putting green. If you want in, the live auction takes place on November 22nd, and just so they know you're serious, you need a $250,000 deposit just to sit for the auction. And no Hawaii Sportscast would be complete without a look at local high school sports, where we have a doozy cooking up.
Yeah.
For the first time in 3 years, a new pigskin champion will be crowned in the OIA Red Division, where the 2-time defending state and division champion Red Raiders of Kahuku fell last night 37-22 against the Trojans of Mililani. 37 points, by the way, being the most any team has stacked up against the Red Raiders since Waianae in 1997. The Trojans were able to slay the Northside local football behemoth Red Raiders on the feet of sophomore running back, ironically named Vavai Malapiai, who rushed for 139 yards and 3 touchdowns, and behind the arm of quarterback Mackenzie Milton, who added 224 yards passing and a rushing TD of his own. Trojans earn a spot into the state tourney along with the OIA title game next weekend against the Farrington Governors, who squeaked out the Campbell Sabres 7-0 last night. And lastly, there are many coaches out there who teach game fundamentals, but it is the great coaches who transcend the sport to teach fundamentals of life. So I end the sports report with one of the great ones, the late great Jimmy V, who said, "Never give up. Rejection and failure are only the first step to succeeding." And there you have it, folks, a look at sports on this Aloha Friday.
His first sports broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, on the Aloha Friday morning show, brought to you by
The Pelatron Center for Economic Development and its Pelatron Company.
Let's get to some music and then some history. Oh, we have it all for you this morning with our special guest, Mahealani RIchardson. I'm Kimo Kahuano.
This is Ikaika Kahuano.
And Leilani Kupao Marino.
Along with our engineer, Min. Welcome to Aloha Friday.
Ooh, Ikaika,
That was
a
the first.
good-
Yeah.
His dad passed him last week, but you started doing a sports report.
It's a little.
Always wanted to briefly that haku inoa last night.
Okay.
About a name, and we were talking about Kaiulani's name, and how Kumu Vicky Holt Takamine was also saying how, we're always evolving as Hawaiians or as people, and so our name changes throughout, which we see that with Kalakaua, with Kaiulani, but then that special last night on PBS, a haku inoa, to weave a name. And the beautiful story of this young lady, Christine Marquez, who's searching for what does her name mean, 63 letters given to her by her mom, and the discovery of mental illness within her own family and the separation of she from her mother and family.
It was on PBS last night.
PBS, it was beautiful. And what it really showed too is that how we as Hawaiians a lot of times were diagnosed with mental illness when really it was such a deep connection to our culture that people didn't understand. And so you get labeled and separated, isolated, and then now the unfolding of what a daughter is able to discover in her own family.
Uh-huh. And it was part of HIF, I think, yeah?
It was part of the HIF Festival. Yeah, the
Hawaii International Film Festival.
Correct. And so I think a very touching story that brings mental illness and the stigma it had to today, the reality of what it is, and that it may not even be mental illness.
Yeah.
Can I just mention, Leilani, one of the services that Shriners Hospitals has just opened is a new neurodevelopmental clinic.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And this is really brand new for the hospital because we have now a neurologist, a pediatric neurologist.
Like in-house, right?
In-house, and so typically if your child has autism or a learning disability,
Wow.
ADHD, it takes about 6 months to see a doctor.
I got that. Can I come over?
You're too old for Shriners,
Sorry.
Ikaika.
Sorry, little kid.
That is so perfect for what Shriners doing because now we're able to look at children
The
in
whole
another
person.
way. Yes.
Because Shriners is known for world-class care with bones and joints and that sort of thing, but
Yeah,
now
yeah.
we're looking at the whole body from the head down to the toes.
And autism is, it's huge.
Asperger's and everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then how people are, it just right into their lives and their families, and all of a sudden, what do they do? So this is great to know.
We also have a new fracture clinic. So if your
Yes.
child has a sports injury or they fall from the jungle gym, they can walk into this clinic during the morning hours because they're in pain, right? So
Yes.
they go to
Yes.
the ER, go to urgent care, and then they come to Shriners to see an orthopedic doctor right away. And
Wow.
parents are really happy
Specialty.
about this.
That is great because to have that specialty care that a lot of places have not been able to offer is going to be great for the long-term development of these children.
So you see some great things are happening
At Shriners.
It's just wonderful.
Yes.
I wonder how the weather and the traffic is. First of all, Mahealani, we'd like to ask you about the weather.
Well, the weather, if you look outside, it's really nice. But actually, unfortunately, we're going to have haze all weekend long. And I know a lot of you out there are starting to feel the effects. So just hang in there, drink your
Yes.
water.
That's right.
Try to avoid strenuous exercise outside. But for today, we're going to have partly sunny skies with isolated showers, highs, mid-70s to mid-80s, and east winds around 10 miles per hour. There's a 20% chance of rain today, but mostly it's going to be the fog that's the big story. So just hang in there, folks.
You can already kind of see it
Uli
when you
is
go outside.
here.
And as you look around and you see this beautiful setting, because you're sitting in your car waiting to move, the reason is there were 2 early accidents very close to each other. And this made a real big jam on the H1, H2, after the merge, Kaunohi Street overpass. So we had some problems going back. So wherever you are trying to get to town, just remember this, that you are holding yourself really well, that you are, wow, such a better person than the person next to you who's getting all frustrated for nothing because you can't go anywhere. Right?
Such a holistic way to think about traffic, Kimo.
Just think about it as being nice and easy. And you're saying to yourself, how about another song, Kimo? To compliment the easy before we get into our next story. And the answer is, here comes the music right now, okay? What is the next song available? It's a beautiful Hawaiian song on AM 940, am940hawaii.com, and iHeartRadio. With Leilani Kupahomarino, and our special guest hostess is the wonderful Mahealani RIchardson.
Aloha kakahiaka.
Oh, beautiful. Mahealani, thank you very much for agreeing to be a part of the showcase.
Well, thank you. I'm so honored to be here this morning.
Good fun, yeah, good fun.
Good fun.
Yeah. Get all the pressure out. That's what people want. They want fun. They don't want to hear.
Well, I actually have a question for our longtime veteran in the television news
Yes,
broadcast.
go ahead.
Okay, I always wondered this when I was a kid, watching the broadcast. What do you do with those papers on your desk? Because isn't there do you guys actually use those?
Yes, we do. Well, we have the teleprompter,
Okay.
but then we have the papers as well with the same scripts, because what if the teleprompter breaks, or sometimes
yeah.
the teleprompter person will fall asleep because it's early in the morning.
Oh, no way.
So you really need the scripts. But sometimes, when they have the big wide shot of the whole studio and you kind of shuffle your papers, that's sort of just a little nervous thing that a lot of people do, because what are you going to do when you're on the desk and there's a wide shot of you? Well, you just shuffle your papers.
Okay, that's kind of like a trade industry secret. I always wanted to know that.
But we used to talk to each other sometimes, in the middle of the newscast, and write notes to each other.
Like we do here.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So
is
not unlike
right.
what we do, right?
Now, one more thing about Straub before we move on.
Shriners Hospital.
I said Straub all the
And
time.
Straub is
It
right
must be
down
my
the
brother
street.
calling me. Wait.
We're all
My brother.
part of one
We're all
Ohio.
part-
This is
yes.
Keith. I'm in purchasing. I'm still here.
See, Straub focuses on
Yes.
the adults and
I am your
Shriners on
brother.
the children.
Aloha, brother. Aloha.
Yeah, because
Hello to everybody who works at Straub. Say hello to my brother. He's in purchasing.
Yeah.
He's not even in the hospital. He's out there in some
Actually,
purchasing
that's
place.
perfect because Dr. Jones, I used to work for the orthopedics and neck back clinic back in the late 70s, early 80s, and Dr. Jones used to be
Neck back.
one of the famous doctors over at Shriners. Philip Jones used to handle all the orthopedic
was that
scoliosis and everything.
was that neck back the Chinese clinic?
You better behave.
Ika.
Yeah, you guys go into a place where we don't want to go right now.
That's right.
So, no, wait, there's a fundraiser coming up. So we have to
That's
talk
right.
about it at Shriners.
Really quickly, Wings for Shriners. It's a fundraiser for Shriners Transportation Fund. About 40% of the patients are from out of state. So we would love to bring more patients here so we can help kids with scoliosis and bone problems.
Oh, yeah.
So it's at the Willows. It starts tonight, and it's at 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
Wow.
Willows,
Great.
Wings for Shriners.
So question,
Sounds good.
why do they bring them to Hawaii?
Well, we have 60% from Hawaii, so
But
there's
40%.
a lot of misconceptions. If people think, oh, do you have to be a Shriner to go to Shriners, or do you have to be a certain income
Right,
level,
right. Uh-huh.
insurance? Well, you know what? We take all children,
Wow.
with or without
Yeah.
insurance, and you don't have to be a part of a special group. But we do fly 40% in from places like
That's
Guam and
amazing.
Samoa, so it's part of our mission to help kids in Hawaii and out of state as well.
Awesome. Wonderful.
That's beautiful. Once again, fundraiser tonight.
Wings for Shriners at the Willows at 5 o'clock.
Okay, we got it now. That's good stuff. Coming up, we're going to say hello to a very, very special gentleman who's going to be a part of that wonderful gift to have. Remember when you were a little kid and we should tell ghost stories? Well, we have a real ghost storyteller coming up in just a few
Yeah,
moments. I'm Timo
scared.
Kahuano,
This is Ikaika Kahuano.
And Leilani Kupahamarino.
and our special guest hostess is Mahealani RIchardson.
Aloha.
Aloha. Welcome, everybody. We'll be right back after more great music right here on AM 940.
Wonderful.
On AM 940, am940hawaii.com, and of course the iHeartRadio AM 940. Welcome to the radio show Aloha Friday, brought to you by Pacific Center for Economic Development, which is now Pelatron Center for Economic Development, and it's Pelatron Companies, okay? We welcome each and every one of you. Thank you very much for being with us. Ikaika's here, Leilani's here, Mahealani RIchardson is here, Min, our engineer, and we have our next honored guest to introduce, who's going to be, he's going to be doing something very, very special. So, Leilani, would you do the introduction?
Lopaka Kapanui, yes. Kumuhula, Lopaka Kapanui. He is also telling ghost stories. And right now he takes a charter bus of guests up to Pali and other places and then comes over to Paradise Park, which he can share even more of his background from being a writer to telling ghost stories.
Okay. Lopaka, good to see you again, brother.
Oh, good to be here.
Well, thank you very much for taking the trek into town.
Yeah, that's what I get for not reading the email.
Hey, and no, did you come in from the leeward? Where do you live? What area?
Live in Waipahu, and yeah, we got sort of caught in the backlands.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we take you to the location. What was it? Was it really bad? Or you got through, so it's okay.
Yeah, we had to go through Pearl City. We got through it. Tense moments.
Tense moments.
Yeah.
Lopaka Kapanui. Tense moments. Works his way all the way here to the studios in downtown Honolulu at Pioneer Plaza. So I want to thank you very much for that. But you're doing great work, not only during this week, but you're always doing very interesting stories. How did this whole thing start out?
It actually started when I was a kid. You know, when you're supposed to be sleeping and not listening to your parents talk story at the kitchen table.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I was a kid hiding underneath the table.
Smart.
And then, 1994, I went on this walking tour downtown Honolulu on a Wednesday night, recommended by my friend Takemi Oshiro. And when I heard this guy tell all these stories, I'm like, that's the stories I heard growing up. And so there was some validation there. And the following week, my former Kumuhula Keone Nunes says, hey, we're going to dance on this tour, this ghost tour of Waianae with my friend Glenn Grant.
Yes, Glenn Grant.
And that's basically how it all started. And this past June 19th marked 10 years of his passing. So I did the Glenn Grant Memorial Ghost Tour out in Waianae.
Wow. And you can just brag about your Kumuhula.
I could.
About Keone.
Yeah.
Look at that. I remember him in the days with Daryl over at Mary Monarch Festival.
Right.
And then us going to Japan, and then him coming back and going through different things, and then coming back to Mary Monarch, and then getting into the cacao. Yeah. So awesome the changes in our lives that allow us to take different journeys. Yeah.
Absolutely. And things sort of came full circle because after becoming a Kumuhula, I felt the need to go back and revisit my foundation. So I've been going to see Keone and bugging him to teach me, Waipi Opaka Alana.
Oh.
It hurts a lot. I forgot how painful that kahiko was.
Oh, that kahiko it was crazy. People don't realize that Daryl, sat there, saw the pictures, saw the images, and the guys really carried them out. They brought them to life.
Absolutely.
Not knowing this is impossible to do. Right?
No.
Mano'o, just like
Mano'o.
Mano'o. Let's just talk about that. I mean, talk about an exercise in athletics that is, unmatched. I don't think anybody can match up with that.
And I
It's
think,
tough.
as Lopaka was saying, as a Kumuhula, even with Kumu Kaleo, Miyasato, and Kumu Ed Kalahiki, the things that they pass on in those stories too. So you're getting a great richness right now.
Absolutely. And with, Kumu Kaleo and Kumu Kalahiki, there's so much richness and unheard of information as far as the hula goes, and it's mind-boggling. And Leilani, at that day of Uniki when we were holding our stuff and getting ready to walk out, Kumukalahiki came up to me at the last moment and he says, "Well, I forgot to mention, I don't know if you know this, but I think you're the only Hawaiian I'm going to puka as a kumu." I'm like, "Why are you telling me this now?"
Ladies and gentlemen, the rest of the story. And that's what's important, yeah, the rest of the story, because it's important to reveal that. That's one of the special moments in your life. How did, when you grew up, were you also telling stories? Were you reaching out? You talked about what you got, and you talked about your friends, but how did you now become the storyteller?
My kindergarten teacher claimed that I was reading at a 6th grade level, and at that age you don't really know. So I got a lot of library time. And so I would hang out in what was called the Hawaiiana section. And the first story I read was about this canoe that was sailing past where Mauna Lua Bay is, and about a native Hawaiian who was running along the shore listening to the drum that was being played on that canoe, and imitating it on his chest. And allegedly, this is the canoe that when it reached Kaneohe Bay, I think the kahuna who was on the canoe began to chant E Ali'i, Ahe Kane Ahe Mu. So it's the very first story I read, the very first chant I read. So a lot of times when I have significant tours concerning the spiritual aspect of our culture, I sort of bless that tour with that hula, with that kahuna.
Oh, you said Kaneohe. Right there at Kualoa, Hokulea comes in. It's totally calm. All of a sudden, the winds pick up. The clouds are big. So much wind that the stage blows down. We're doing this welcoming thing, and it's just unbelievable that nature appears right there before all of us, and we're standing there going, "What is this?" And then it lands. Everything pau, sun comes up. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah?
Yeah, all of the ancestors follow that canoe, and accompany them to Kualoa. And may I just use my local vernacular by saying mean, bro, just mean. Mean.
Yeah, just two on the side.
Was that on?
She's already part of the Ohana. Okay, here we go. Here's I sit. Honey, you open it up. Here's I sit.
Honey.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Trying to get us going.
Okay.
Here's where I sit all cloudy. No.
Can you turn the...
Just Aloha Friday.
You gotta pretend like you're singing to the mic.
Ready. It's Aloha
Friday,
no work till Monday. Do-do-be-doo. It's Aloha Friday.
Come to Shriners.
No work till Monday.
Hospitals for children. Do-do-be-doo.
Shriners Hospital
For children.
Yay!
I sit all cloudy and blends with the prima donnas lying everywhere. Got a guitar in my hand and a Western oil can under my okole for a chair. It's Aloha Friday.